Clippers have to be the most unlucky team in NBA history, along with the Nets and the Knicks, but that's another video for another day. If you didn't know, the Clippers were bought by this man, Steve Ballmer, in 2014. For reference, he used to be the CEO of Microsoft. And just a little background info also, he tried to buy the Seattle Supersonics before they moved to OKC, but that deal fell through. He also tried to buy the Sacramento Kings, and that deal fell through. And then he got the Clippers. Obviously, I don't want to say there's a curse on the team, although some people say that, because nothing ever seems to go right. Like, something always happens. Even when they were in the Lob City era with Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, something was always happening there too. Like, they couldn't get to the final. This team, do you guys remember this team? I can't believe how long it's been since they were together. Like, it seems like yesterday, but also seems like a million years ago. But this team was supposed to be like an NBA championship contender, and they just never could get there. Something always happened. So you have that weighing over them, and then they break it up, and we're starting a new era. And then Steve Ballmer does what he does in 2019. But in 2019, the team got Kawhi Leonard in free agency, and they also traded for Paul George from OKC. I remember when that deal happened, they didn't want to give up Shea, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, wow, Shea has been really good on the Clippers so far, even though he's not what he is now, of course, because he's blossomed. But I'm like, I mean, you have to do it because you want to win a championship, because this is supposed to be a championship contending team. But it was a tough trade. And now we see what Shea is. So what does this have to do with something going wrong with the Clippers? Well, they put together a super competent team. Like, you cannot tell me that their team does not have so much talent everywhere. Like, competent players who could do everything. And the injuries just never go away. Kawhi cannot stay healthy. If it's not one thing, it's the other. It's his knee, his foot, and obviously it's not his fault if he's injured. Like, if his body just gets injured, that's not his fault. Nobody can control that. But if I'm Steve Ballmer, because also Paul George, for some reason, Paul George is getting injured left and right also. And yes, Paul George has been injured before, but he was relatively healthy besides, breaking his leg with Indiana. And then he comes to the Clippers and he's just injured left and right. It's like one thing after another. I feel bad for Steve Ballmer because he's one of the best owners in the NBA. Like, he spends money like it's no object. I don't even think that made sense, but he just spends money. He doesn't care because he just wants to win. He's so excited. He's at all the games cheering, like screaming, like he's always having so much fun. And I feel bad because he's done pretty much everything right as an owner. Like, I'm not gonna say he did every single thing right, of course, but to the best of his abilities, like, he's put it together a team with two, stars right there. And then you have Norman Powell. You got John Wall this offseason, Reggie Jackson, Zubac. Like, there is so much talent up and down the roster. He buys a new arena so they don't have to share a home with the Lakers anymore, and they're building it right now. The Clippers it's tough. It's tough if you're a Clippers fan because when will it end?